Did you know that more than 300,000 tons of corned beef are produced every year? Enough to fill an entire city like Miami with dense, deep red blocks of savory, long-lasting beef. From a staple ration during World War II, corned beef has stepped into modern life as a symbol of convenience and a legendary name in the global canned meat industry. Everything begins on the vast grasslands of South America, where crossbred zebu cattle are raised for more than 2 years to develop firm, finely grained muscle with a natural balance of fat and leanness. From there, they enter the processing lines, where salt, heat, and pressure are controlled with meticulous precision to transform raw, lean cuts into solid, compact blocks of corned beef, ready for canning before appearing on the shelves of thousands of supermarkets worldwide. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we follow that journey, exploring how a wartime ration evolved into a modern icon of convenient food. Here's a fun fact. Mention corned beef, and roughly 80% of people, even in the US, the UK, or Ireland, assume it has something to do with corn. In reality, there isn't a single kernel of corn in corned beef. The word corned comes from the Old English phrase corns of salt, referring to the large, corn-sized salt crystals used to cure the meat, the key technique that allowed beef to be stored for months before refrigeration existed. Compared with fresh beef, corned beef retains the same protein content but is noticeably saltier due to the deep curing process. This very trait made it responsible for more than 20% of the protein intake of British and American troops during World War II. The famous Frey Bentos cans not only sustained Allied forces, but became so strategically important that Nazi Germany sought every possible way to disrupt the supply lines carrying them. Today, Brazil, Argentina, and the United States form the three powerhouses dominating the global canned corned beef market. Though much smaller than the fresh beef industry, this crucial segment still generates over $9 billion annually and appears across every strategic distribution channel. From supermarkets and emergency stockpiles to humanitarian aid programs and long-range maritime logistics. And now let me take you to South America, the heartland of zebu cattle, where more than 80% of Brazil's national herd is raised on vast savanna pastures stretching for thousands of kilometers. Here, the dry tropical climate, mineral-rich grasses, and wide-open landscapes create an ecosystem that only zebu, with their large sweat glands, thick skin, and innate heat tolerance, can convert into steady, year-round weight gain. Zebu calves are born directly on pasture, nurse from their mothers during the early months, and develop a digestive system specialized for processing coarse forage, an advantage that allows them to gain nearly 1 kilogram per day on pasture alone, without costly grain-based rations. At around 18 months of age, when they approach 400 kilograms, they enter the final acceleration phase, focused on building muscle mass, tightening firmness, increasing lean meat yield, developing long muscle fibers, and maintaining structural stability, all ideal characteristics for industrial processing and large-scale production. Once they reach market weight, typically around 500 kilograms per animal, they are moved into high-throughput slaughter and grading facilities. The result? Brazil, powered by the Zebu Foundation, exports over 2.3 million tons of beef annually, securing its position as the world's largest supplier to beef processing systems, including the global corned beef production chain. Thanks to low production costs, consistent weight gain, and competitive emissions per kilogram of meat, even under intense heat, the Nellore has become the only cattle breed capable of operating smoothly at the massive scale needed to support a multi-billion-dollar industry. Leaving the pasture, the cattle officially enter a pivotal stage of transformation. from a living organism into the foundational raw material that begins the entire corned beef production process within the factory. At the start of the process, the cattle are placed in a restraint box and rendered unconscious using a captive bolt gun, aimed precisely at the center of the forehead. The shot instantly disrupts central nervous activity, causing the animal to lose consciousness almost immediately and feel no pain. This step is designed to ensure the highest level of humane slaughter. After the hide and internal organs are removed, the massive beef carcass, weighing hundreds of kilograms, is lifted onto the splitting line, where steel and precision meet in every cut. Industrial bandsaws, running at about 3,000 revolutions per minute, slice cleanly through the thick backbone while maintaining a straight, smooth, and perfectly aligned cut. Guided precisely along the spinal axis, the carcass separates into two symmetrical halves in both shape and muscle structure. This splitting step allows the meat to chill faster, handle more easily, and be butchered with greater accuracy, ensuring that every process afterward runs efficiently, consistently, and to the highest quality standards. After the carcass processing stage, the operation moves into the butchering phase, the direct foundation for corned beef production. Around 70% of the raw material comes from the brisket, the front chest area where the muscles work constantly as the animal stands and moves. This gives the meat thick, coarse fibers interlaced with marbled fat, creating its signature juiciness and rich flavor. The remaining portion mainly comes from the hind leg muscles, rich in connective tissue and collagen, components that help the meat hold its shape, stay tender, and develop a gelatinous texture during long cooking. Selecting the right muscle groups not only determines the tenderness, texture, and flavor absorption of corned beef, but also showcases the butcher's anatomical precision and refined knife sense. Those who can identify each muscle group simply by the grain's direction and the meat's subtle elasticity. Immediately afterward, the meat enters the curing stage, the critical phase that determines the flavor, color, and microbiological stability of corned beef. The meat blocks are placed into standard brine tanks containing water, salt, nitrite, and a precisely measured blend of spices. On average, each piece of meat absorbs 10 to 12% of its own weight in brine, allowing the solution to penetrate deep into every muscle fiber. At the same time, many factories use high-pressure brine injection systems with needles as fine as 1.2 millimeters to deliver the solution directly into the muscle tissue. This technique reduces the curing time from several days to just a few hours, while ensuring the salt concentration and signature pink color are evenly distributed throughout the entire batch. After the curing phase, the meat moves to the heating stage, where the entire marination process is activated and completed. The beef blocks are slow-cooked in industrial steam kettles for 3 to 5 hours, depending on the thickness and muscle structure of each cut. Throughout cooking, the temperature is tightly controlled, maintained at a minimum of 70 degrees Celsius, the ideal point for protein coagulation, moisture retention, and the conversion of collagen into gelatin, which gives corned beef its signature tender, springy texture. Surrounding steam ensures even heat distribution, preventing surface drying or fiber shrinkage. Once cooked, the meat is gradually cooled to stabilize its structure before moving on to the next processing stages. After cooking, the process moves to the product forming stage, where the final texture of the corned beef is defined. Here, the meat is fed into an industrial shredding machine, equipped with dual augers rotating at over 1,800 revolutions per minute, combined with high-speed cutting blades that tear the fibers along their natural grain. The process is powerful enough to separate the strands, yet gentle enough to retain elasticity and internal moisture, ensuring that the meat inside the can remains loose, juicy, and authentically textured, much like hand-pulled beef. For the canned corned beef line, the process expands into a fully enclosed and highly precise production chain. An automatic compression system packs the meat into cans under high pressure, eliminating all residual air to prevent swelling during heating. Each can is measured to the gram, with a weight deviation of no more than 0.5%. After sealing, the entire batch is transferred to high-pressure steam retorts, where it is sterilized at 121 degrees Celsius for over 90 minutes. Conditions that eliminate microorganisms and allow the product to be stored safely for 3 to 5 years without preservatives. Once cooled, each can undergoes rigorous inspection, lid scanning, metal detection, and automated defect checks using optical sensors, before being coated, labeled, and packed for distribution. The entire operation integrates thermal technology, precision mechanics, and digital inspection, turning every can of corned beef into a perfectly stable, safe, and industrially refined product. Another approach is that, after marination, instead of being sent directly to the cooker, the meat is fed into a cutting machine where rotating spiral blades slice it into uniform chunks. These pieces are then packed into cans first, before being placed in high-pressure steam retorts, where the cooking process takes about 90 minutes at 120 degrees Celsius. This method helps preserve the meat's shape inside the can, ensures even flavor absorption, and reduces moisture loss. Compared to the traditional process, cooking first and shredding or cutting afterward, this approach saves energy, improves consistency, and is especially efficient for large-scale canned corned beef production. However, among the many choices at deli counters or cured meat shelves, one product is often mistaken for corned beef: pastrami, a smoked meat of Romanian Jewish origin, elevated by New York delis in the early 20th century into a culinary icon. Both dishes share the same foundation, the curing process using nitrite salt, mainly with cuts from the brisket, where thick fibers and strong connective tissues can withstand long cooking times while developing a deep, stable flavor. The key difference lies in how the flavor is defined. Corned beef develops its taste from the inside out, through brine infusion and slow cooking, creating a rich saltiness and a uniform, tender texture. Pastrami, by contrast, builds flavor from the outside in, coated in a dry spice rub, smoked at low heat to form a dark crust and layered smoky aroma, then steamed to achieve tenderness. The result is two distinct experiences, born from the same roots. In New York delis, pastrami is sliced fresh and served hot, releasing its full aroma and silky texture, while corned beef serves a different role, built for stability, longevity, and consistency, forming the backbone of the global canned meat industry for nearly a century. Deer antlers are the fastest-growing bone structure on Earth, even faster than the metastasis rate of human cancer cells. Each day, an antler can lengthen by about 2 centimeters, and within just 3 months, its weight can exceed 20 kilograms. Antler growth only begins when maternal growth hormones activate the cells at the base of the frontal bone, initiating the formation of the antler shaft. The harvesting process starts with sedation to maintain physiological stability and prevent stress responses. The antler is removed at the pedicle, the point where connective tissue and bone are clearly separated, minimizing pain. Immediately after cutting, the pedicle is disinfected and covered with a biological seal to stop bleeding, control microorganisms, and stabilize the tissue. Under optimal conditions, a mature deer can yield up to 4 harvests per year. At the processing facility, cleaned velvet antlers undergo thermal treatment to stabilize the tissue and deactivate enzymes. They are then immersed in a specialized biological solution the key step that preserves protein structures and protects the natural compounds. Once stabilized, the antlers are sliced and dried to reduce moisture, maintain structural integrity, and extend shelf life for several months. Interestingly, New Zealand remains the only country that legally permits large-scale deer farming for industrial antler production. Most antler products used in collagen, nutraceuticals, and regenerative pharmaceuticals in the US, South Korea, and Europe originate from here. Dubbed the Wagyu of the pork world, Jamon Iberico is a rare convergence of genetics, terroir, ecosystem, and time, a true Mediterranean masterpiece. Its journey begins in the Dehesa grasslands of southwestern Spain, where millions of holm and cork oak trees grow naturally spaced across thousands of hectares. Here, Iberico black pigs roam freely, walking tens of kilometers each day to forage for acorns, rich in oleic acid comparable to olive oil, which permeate the meat and form the unique intramuscular fat structure found in no other pig breed. When the Montanera season ends, the hind legs, where intramuscular fat density and muscle fiber architecture are most ideal, enter a transformation lasting more than 900 days. In the first stage, they are coated with pure sea salt at a precise ratio of 30 grams per kilogram of meat, just enough to inhibit harmful bacteria while allowing enzymatic activity to continue. Over 2 weeks at low temperatures, the salt slowly penetrates the meat, reducing moisture and activating natural biochemical reactions. Next, the jamon is moved into traditional curing chambers. No climate control, no humidifiers, relying solely on cold winds, ambient humidity, and native microorganisms. These conditions allow penicillium molds and local microflora to flourish, forming a natural biological rind that both protects the meat and begins unlocking its signature clean, buttery richness. Over the next 2 to 4 years, fats and proteins break down, generating more than 120 aromatic compounds, from chestnut, caramel, and dairy notes to aged oak wood and fermented cheese undertones. This is no mere salted pork. It is a living biochemical transformation, where time, geography, and native microbiology co-create a flavor profile that modern industry simply cannot replicate. These tiny bees, weighing less than 0.1 grams, collectively produce over 1.9 million tons of honey each year for the global food industry. Beekeepers use gentle smoke to interrupt the bees' defensive pheromone signals, reducing their aggression and guiding them away from the comb surface. Once the hive has coined, each honey-filled frame is removed and taken to the processing area. Here, the wax cappings that seal every hexagonal cell are cut away using a heated knife or an automatic uncapping machine. The frames are then placed into an industrial centrifuge. As the drum spins at speeds of up to 400 RPM, centrifugal force pulls the honey out of the wax structure while preserving its enzymes, micronutrients, pollen, and natural microbiome, the true essence of raw honey. The extracted honey then passes through a multi-stage coarse filtration system, where ultra-fine screens remove wax fragments, mechanical impurities, and small bee particles. Notably, the honey is never heated, allowing its enzyme structure and biological activity to remain almost fully intact. And here's a fun fact. When paired with pancakes, honey enhances perceived sweetness by up to 1.7 times, yet adds only about 21 calories per teaspoon. That's why chefs often call honey a natural flavor carrier, a catalyst that makes the notes of butter, pastry, or cheese sharper and deeper than refined sugar or artificial syrups ever could. Deep within the damp, shadowed cliffs of Southeast Asia, swiftlets cling upside down to the cave ceiling, secreting a unique glycoprotein that forms an exceptionally adhesive material. strong enough for their delicate nests to withstand forces up to 30 times their own weight. When the nest completes its natural cycle, typically after 3 months, once the fledglings have left, it is harvested carefully to avoid disrupting the bird's breeding rhythm. Workers detach each nest from the rock surface using only their bare hands, requiring steady control and absolute precision. Most natural birds' nests are incredibly fragile and can crumble with even the slightest touch, turning the harvesting process into a true craft. Inside the processing facility, raw nests, still mixed with feathers, dust, and wood fibers, are softened with clean water and moved to the picking stations. Here, every impurity is removed with tweezers to preserve the original structure of the nest and eliminate all biological contaminants. The crucial qualities that determine purity and texture are then maintained through meticulous shaping, drying, and sterilization under tightly controlled conditions. This refined process is what brings edible bird's nest to Beverly Hills, one of America's most luxurious markets, placing it among the world's most expensive foods, with prices exceeding USD $3,000 per kilogram. In many premium boutiques, high-grade nests even cost 3 times more than saffron or truffles. Modern merino sheep can no longer shed their wool naturally, and without regular shearing, their fleece can swell to 25 kilograms, causing overheating, infections, and severe exhaustion. Shearing, therefore, is not just harvesting. It is essential for the animal's well-being. The wool harvest takes place once a year, typically in early spring. Professional shearers use electric shearing machines with blades curved to match the sheep's body. A skilled shearer can remove the fleece of a sheep in under 2 minutes, keeping the entire coat intact, a single continuous piece known as the fleece. Every movement must be precise. Even one deep cut can downgrade the wool to industrial-grade fiber and wipe out over 60% of its value. After shearing, the fleece is braided based on its position on the body. Wool from the back and sides, the cleanest, finest, and most uniform fibers, is classified as highest-grade apparel wool, destined for Italian suits or ultra-light knitwear. Wool from the belly, legs, and rear, often mixed with lanolin, sweat, and soil, is better suited for carpets, insulation, or acoustic materials. A premium merino fleece may sell for less than USD $60, but once spun, woven, and finished, its value can exceed USD $300 for a sweater or USD $2,000 for a tailored suit. This is why merino wool is considered one of the highest margin materials in the global textile. Among more than 300 cattle breeds worldwide, the intramuscular fat-building process of Wagyu demands stricter biological conditions than any other. This mechanism is precisely what makes Wagyu so expensive. Even a slight rise in cortisol levels can halt fat deposition within the muscle fibers, disrupting the entire marbling cycle and sharply reducing its commercial value. Inside the processing plant, Wagyu is handled under a dedicated protocol designed to preserve marbling quality, with temperature and humidity tightly controlled at every stage, from slaughter to final packaging. The entire workflow must occur at consistently low temperatures to maintain the spiraled fat structure, a unique form of intramuscular fat embedded deep within each fiber rather than sitting as an outer layer. Each cut is inspected and graded based on 3 key metrics: marbling density, firmness, and meltability. As a result, only batches that meet A4 or A5 standards qualify for freezing, chilled cutting, and export, often commanding prices that reach USD $450 per kilogram, placing Wagyu on the same tier as bluefin tuna and beluga caviar. In China, where millions of quail eggs are produced each day for the global market, every stage of harvesting and processing is carried out under strict control to minimize losses. Because the shell is as thin as a sheet of paper, just enough to protect the embryo, yet prone to cracking under even slight force, Collection must be done entirely by hand to preserve each egg's shape. Only eggs that pass initial inspection are sent to multi-stage washing lines, first through low-pressure misting to remove dust and surface debris, followed by ultrasonic sanitation tanks that eliminate microbes without eroding the shell. Those that meet the standards move on to the peeling system, where specialized rollers and separating blades operate at under 5 newtons of pressure, enough to list the membrane without damaging the delicate albumin. This method yields a high rate of intact eggs, ideal for canning and ready-to-eat food production. A portion of the output is processed into century-style quail eggs, a higher-value product. Here, the eggs are cured in a mixture of alkaline salts, black tea, salt and plant ash for 14 to 21 days, causing the proteins to coagulate slowly. The yolk turns into a dense amber gel, while the white becomes translucent like jelly. The eggs are then rinsed, stabilized, and packaged under microbiological standards, becoming a strong selling item across Asia and increasingly popular in Europe and the Americas as demand for East Asian cuisine grows. The journey of premium bacon begins on specialized farms, where pigs are closely monitored from birth. Each pig bred specifically for bacon production typically reaches a weight of around 110 kilograms in just 6 months, growing at a remarkable rate of up to 1.8 kilograms per day, nearly twice as fast as conventionally raised pigs. Their diet consists primarily of corn, wheat, and supplemented vitamins, designed to develop the ideal belly fat composition needed for high-quality bacon, with even fat marbling that delivers perfect crispness and rich flavor. Interestingly, some bacon-dedicated farms even incorporate beer into the pig's feed. Adding beer to their diet helps produce more evenly distributed and higher-quality fat, almost as if the pigs themselves are savoring a taste of flavor before transforming into bacon. After about 6 months of rearing, when the pigs have reached their ideal weight of approximately 110 kilograms, they begin their final journey from the farm to the processing plant. Before being loaded onto the transport trucks, the pigs are lightly washed using cleansing or disinfecting solutions. This step helps remove dirt, bacteria, and pathogens from the surface of their skin, reducing the risk of cross-contamination during transport and at the plant. Handlers use specialized tools such as mobile panels or soft paddles to gently guide the pigs. The walkway from the holding area to the transport truck is specially designed with a low incline, allowing the pigs to move easily without losing balance. High side barriers are typically installed along the walkway to limit external visibility and prevent the pigs from becoming distracted or startled by sudden noises, lights, or movement. Inside the truck, each tier is often lined with a layer of rice husks, sawdust, or other absorbent material. This not only provides better grip for the pigs, but also helps absorb moisture and maintain hygiene, making post-trip cleaning easier. The transport vehicles used are specially designed livestock trucks, usually multi-tiered to maximize space while maintaining ventilation and comfort. They are equipped with ventilation systems, shock absorption mechanisms, and often sensors to monitor interior conditions. These features help ensure that the pigs are transported in a safe, comfortable, and low-stress environment. The entire process from loading to transport requires not only technical expertise, but also strict adherence to animal welfare standards, hygiene protocols, and food safety regulations. Before entering the slaughtering process, pigs are taken to a designated resting area for a final health inspection. This stage is critical to ensure that the meat products, especially bacon, meet the highest food safety standards. Pigs are guided into a specialized washing area where their entire bodies are sprayed with clean, high-pressure water to remove dirt, mud, and waste residues from their skin. Following this preliminary rinse, they are lightly sprayed with a mild disinfectant solution, typically safe compounds such as lactic acid or low-concentration chlorine. to eliminate bacteria and pathogens present on the skin's surface. Before slaughter, pigs are anesthetized to ensure a painless process and to comply with animal welfare regulations. One of the most common methods is stunning with carbon dioxide, CO2. The pigs are guided into a sealed chamber where CO2 is introduced at a controlled concentration. Within several seconds, they lose consciousness completely. This method helps minimize stress, prevents unnecessary struggling or injury, and ensures the safety of both the animals and the workers involved. Immediately after stunning, the pigs are hung upside down and bled for about 3 to 5 minutes to allow maximum blood drainage. Once bleeding is complete, they are moved to the dehairing area. Here, the pigs are briefly immersed in a hot water tank at around 60 to 65 degrees Celsius to soften the hair follicles. They are then transferred to an automatic dehairing machine, where rotating rubber rollers remove hair and surface impurities. This step ensures the skin is clean and well prepared for the next stages of processing. The pigs are then hung on a sliding rail conveyor and moved to the singeing machine, where strong flames burn off the tiny remaining hairs and simultaneously sterilize the skin surface, ensuring hygiene standards are met before the evisceration process. After being cleaned, the pigs continue to the step of removing the anus. Then, they are moved to the area for evisceration and organ removal. Here, workers use a knife to make a longitudinal incision along the pig's abdomen, then gently pull out all the internal organs without rupturing the intestines, ensuring maximum hygiene. Once cleaned, the pigs are transferred to a high-capacity cutting machine. Here, they are precisely and quickly cut in half using sharp blades, ensuring that the meat remains intact and undamaged. The cutting machine uses advanced technology and automatic control, making the cutting process smooth and uniform, optimizing the use of raw materials. After being cut in half, the meat parts are transferred onto a conveyor belt. Here, they are further divided into specific parts, such as lean meat, fat, ribs, bones, and other sections. The sharp saw blades, combined with laser technology, make precise cuts, ensuring that each piece of meat is neatly separated without damaging its quality. The lean meat is cut into smaller pieces for fresh processing, while the fat, ribs, and bones are also clearly categorized, ready for the next stages of processing into various pork products. This entire process is carried out in a closed environment that meets food safety and hygiene standards, ensuring the final product is of the highest quality while minimizing material loss. During the meat separation process, the pork belly, also known as the belly cut, is singled out as the primary ingredient for making bacon. An ideal pork belly typically features a balanced layering of fat and lean meat, creating a unique texture when fried or roasted. Crispy on the outside, juicy and tender on the inside. After being cut, the pork belly is inspected either manually or using sensor systems to ensure it meets the standards for thickness, fat-to-lean ratio, and size. Pieces that do not meet the requirements may be redirected to other processing lines, while the qualified cuts proceed to the curing stage. Once the pork belly is ready, the seasoning process begins, starting a journey to create the irresistible flavor of bacon. There are two common seasoning methods: dry curing and wet curing. In the dry curing method, the pork belly is evenly coated with a mixture of salt, sugar, pepper, garlic, and natural herbs, creating a perfect blend of flavors from the very first touch. Wet curing, more commonly used in industrial production, involves soaking the meat in a special brine solution that combines salt with spices such as sugar, pepper, garlic, and natural extracts, ensuring the meat absorbs the distinctive bacon flavor. To ensure the seasoning is evenly distributed, a specialized injection system with dozens of small stainless steel needles is used. The needles are carefully positioned across the meat surface, injecting the seasoning mixture precisely into each piece. This automated system works quickly and with pinpoint accuracy, allowing the seasoning to penetrate deeply from the surface to the core, creating a perfectly seasoned and uniform layer on each piece of bacon. This process not only ensures the flavor quality, but also optimizes the use of seasonings, resulting in a final product with rich, irresistible taste. Once the bacon has been meticulously seasoned, it enters the enchanting stage of smoking, a culinary wonder that transforms ordinary pork into an irresistible delicacy. The seasoned slabs are placed into smokehouses, where controlled heat and smoke from natural wood begin to work their magic. Depending on the type of wood used, oak, hickory, or even applewood, each imparts a distinct character, blending smoke and seasoning into a harmonious flavor signature unique to each batch of bacon. Smoking times can range from several hours to up to 24 hours, depending on the method and the desired flavor profile. Throughout the smoking process, the meat absorbs waves of aromatic smoke, with each breath of smoke adding another layer of rich, complex flavor to the meat. After smoking, the bacon slabs are removed from the smokehouse and pressed to create uniform thickness, preparing them for precise slicing. After pressing, the meat, now true bacon, is fragrant, tender, and richly imbued with smoky flavor. Yet its journey isn't quite finished. Before bacon can grace supermarket shelves or star in delicious breakfasts, it must undergo the critical and meticulous slicing phase. Large rectangular slabs of bacon are fed into automated slicing systems, equipped with razor-sharp stainless steel blades operating at high precision. These modern machines slice each piece consistently and attractively, with the ability to adjust the thickness of each bacon strip to meet exact standards. Some advanced slicers can process up to 60 packages of bacon per minute, equating to over 3,500 strips per hour, dramatically boosting production efficiency while minimizing error. Packaging is the final, yet equally important step in bacon production. After slicing, the bacon strips are neatly arranged and fed into modern packaging machines. Here, bacon is often vacuum sealed to remove air, helping to extend shelf life and prevent bacterial contamination. Depending on intended use, bacon can be packaged into convenient small packs for households or larger blocks for restaurants and supermarkets. The packaging is robust and clearly labeled with origin and expiration dates, ensuring that each slice of bacon reaches the consumer fresh, safe, and flavorful. Hidden behind all the dazzling rituals is a truth few people ever realize. Artificial insemination is the very starting point of the entire turkey industry. Because turkeys have been selectively bred to develop extremely large breasts, 99% of commercial turkeys in the United States can no longer mate naturally, forcing farms to rely on artificial insemination to maintain the breed and meet massive demand. The process begins with collecting semen from toms, whose reproductive organs are internal. Technicians must hold the birds in the correct position to obtain semen with extremely high concentration, enough to be diluted and used to inseminate 20 to 30 hens. Thanks to this method, a large farm can handle 1,000 to 3,000 hens per day, making this one of the most efficient stages in modern turkey production. After a few days of recovery following insemination, the hens enter the laying phase. When the cycle is just right, a fully formed egg is released almost effortlessly, so gently that it barely generates any noticeable force. Right beneath the nest, a conveyor belt immediately receives the egg. This system is engineered with such precision that its vibration level is only 1/10 of a human hand's movement, ensuring the egg's quality is preserved to the highest degree. After being collected, the eggs are carefully packaged and immediately transported to the hatcheries. Here, each tray is placed into an automated incubation zone where every parameter, from temperature to humidity, is tightly controlled to prepare for the formation of new poults. To ensure perfect incubation, the machines are set to maintain a stable temperature of 37 to 38 degrees Celsius and continuously rotate the trays so heat is evenly distributed. But with turkey eggs, everything becomes far more challenging. The embryos are extremely sensitive, and even a 0.2–0.5 degrees Celsius deviation can affect their development. On top of that, the incubation period lasts 28 days, a full week longer than chicken eggs, increasing the risk of contamination. This means the entire process must be monitored with extra rigor, from disinfecting the incubators to tracking each individual batch. After several days, workers open the incubators and remove the trays for candling. Under intense light, each egg reveals its inner world, allowing them to clearly observe blood vessels, movement, and the precise stage of embryo growth. As the incubation period ends, the poults begin to hatch, letting out soft, cheep calls. Interestingly, just before breaking out of their shells, they even chat with one another through tiny vibrations and faint calls, as if they're inviting each other to step into the world together. Unlike adult turkeys, poults are timid and have poor vision, so the brooding area must be kept at 20 to 40 lux to help them easily find their feeders and drinkers. The floor is covered with a layer of large, clean, uniform wood shavings to prevent them from accidentally picking up tiny debris. Turkey poults are especially sensitive. Even a sudden noise or a passing shadow can cause their heart rate to spike, so staff always place them into the brooder gently to reduce stress and help the flock settle quickly. Once inside the brooding environment, they are provided with small, concentrated, nutrient-rich feed pellets, a special formula designed to be easily digestible during their first days of life. Turkeys are among the fastest-growing poultry species. In just a single week, they can gain several hundred grams thanks to specialized, nutrient-dense feed formulated specifically for rapid weight gain. Compared to chickens, young turkeys grow 1.5 to 2 times faster during their early life stages, causing their bodies to expand at an almost unbelievable pace. As a result, the spacious barns that once seemed roomy quickly start to feel crowded, yet the flock continues living closely packed together until they reach full size. By the second month, turkeys begin to reveal the traits that set them apart. Snow-white feathers, a nearly bare neck exposing their characteristic pink skin, and bright, crystal-like eyes, a combination that gives them an appearance both unusual and strikingly captivating. And finally, the harvest time arrives. Once the turkeys reach full size and the barns grow crowded, farmers begin gathering the flock. Catching is usually done at night, when the birds are calmer. During the day, they are too active, easily startled, and may injure themselves or others. Under dim lights, workers gently lift each large turkey into specialized crates, placing 4 to 6 birds per compartment, then carefully load them onto the trucks to keep them as calm as possible. Once everything is secured, the flock quietly begins its next journey, heading toward modern processing facilities. When the trucks arrive, each crate of turkeys is unloaded and moved directly into the receiving area. Here, every bird is weighed and its health indicators recorded before stepping onto the automated conveyor line. Bathed in a soft blue light, designed specifically to calm them after the long journey, the turkeys quietly move into the first stage of processing. Next, the system tilts the crates, allowing the birds to gently slide into the processing zone. Here, workers manually lift each turkey and place it into the handling system. In the next stage, the turkeys are fully stunned and moved into the feather removal system. Warm water is used to soften the feathers before an automated plucking machine with rubber rollers gently removes them, ensuring the meat's surface remains intact and of high quality. Once the plucking process is complete, the birds are transferred to the leg separation step. Here, an automated blade system performs the cuts with high precision, quickly directing the legs into a separate collection chute to ensure each part is clearly sorted before moving on to the subsequent processing stages. Moving forward along the conveyor, the turkeys are transferred to the internal processing station. Here, the automated system makes a precise opening and uses a specialized suction mechanism to collect internal organs such as the liver, heart, and intestines. These parts are directed onto a secondary conveyor, separated from the carcass, and transported to the byproduct processing area. In a separate section, technicians inspect samples of solutions such as hydrogen peroxide, surface treatment acids, and chlorine-based compounds before they are approved for use. These substances help clean and improve the appearance of the turkey's skin. Although the practice remains controversial, no scientific study to date has confirmed any specific health risks. As a consumer, what do you think about this? Once the solutions pass inspection, the turkeys move along the conveyor into treatment tanks prepared to exact standards. During the soaking period, a recirculating spray system continuously stirs the solution flow, ensuring the chemicals coat the skin evenly and maximize whitening effectiveness. After the treatment is complete, the turkeys return to the conveyor, entering the next stage of the closed-loop processing chain. After the chemical soaking stage, the turkeys return to the familiar conveyor line to continue the process. First, they pass through a clean water rinsing system that removes any remaining solution from the skin. After rinsing, the birds enter a high-speed drying line approximately 50 meters long. Here, they are dried with hot air to eliminate all residual moisture on the skin. Not only does the hot air technology accelerate the drying process, but the birds are also rotated at high speed, allowing them to dry evenly while minimizing exposure to the external environment. The drying system is equipped with multiple powerful fans that deliver consistent heat across the entire turkey. This rapid drying step ensures the product maintains both its quality and freshness. After drying, the turkeys pass through an optical sorting system, where high-resolution cameras capture up to 500 images per second to assess quality. This technology analyzes every detail on the skin, from bruises and scratches to subtle color variations. Image processing algorithms instantly mark any defects and trigger robotic arms to divert faulty products onto a separate conveyor. Thanks to this system, more than 98% of turkeys that meet the standard continue along the main production line. Next, the turkey carcasses are secured and moved to an automated wing cutting station. Sensors precisely locate the joint between the wing and the body. Then, a sharp blade descends, separating each wing within seconds. The wings are collected on a lower conveyor and transported to a dedicated processing stage. The remaining meat, excluding the legs and wings, is sent to another processing station through the turkey breast cutting machine. Here, a sharp blade glides with both accuracy and finesse to separate the thick, tender breast meat from the carcass. While wings and breasts are relatively easy to remove, turkey thighs present a true mechanical challenge. The thigh joint, where dense muscle connects to the pelvic section, does not always sit in a fixed position, making thigh separation difficult. To solve this, factories use the auto-joint flex cut system, equipped with curved blades and multi-point pressure sensors. This technology scans the joint area up to 200 times per second, allowing the blade to automatically locate the natural separation point. Once the thighs are removed, the carcass continues toward the automated packaging stage. Recall the internal organs that were separated earlier. At this stage, the speed and precision are nearly absolute. Breast meat, liver, heart, thighs. Every part is cleaned, sorted, and carried along automated conveyors to electronic scales calibrated down to the gram. Immediately after weighing, the vacuum sealing system and tray sealing machines take over, creating neat, uniform portions ready to go straight onto retail shelves. Each package is labeled not only with the production date, but also with a QR code that tracks the entire journey, from farm to table. Every minute, hundreds of portions are inspected, sealed, and moved directly into cold storage, ready for transport.